Shalom, Israel. Today's lesson is going to be over idolatry. The Most High gave us laws in the wilderness, as you know by now. And one of those was over idols. If you walking around with a cross on your neck with the intent to have people think you're such a righteous person, if you got statues of crosses or images of Cedric Bogier, that's the gay white person you call Jesus, around your house, in your house, crosses all over the wall, trying to bless your house. I've seen some with, instead of having a cross, they have a circle with Yah around their neck. You walking around with that, so that's an idol. The six-pointed star. They got some Israelites on the street trying to teach with a six-pointed star, not realizing that's a demonic star. Okay? They trying to say that that's the Star of David. But that star was used for demonic purposes. To in the old days, to not only conjure up demons, it was used to try to talk to people's loved ones. See, all of that we as Hebrews is not supposed to do. So when the laws was given to us, it's a no-no for us to do it. Now, anybody else can do it, like other nations. I know the Middle East gets into idolatry real bad. And I got some videos to show you what's happening over there. And the Most High said he was going to get rid of all these idols. I think the time has come. Now, these videos I'm going to show you are not, I have no rights to none of these videos. But this first video I'm going to show you so you can understand, and I'm going to go into scriptures to prove to you we're not supposed to be involved in such a thing. I know a lot of Hollywood stars and athletes got it real bad, even when they're out there playing. Crosses hanging all off their neck, all down in their belly. But let's watch this first one. Start it right here. So you can see where I'm going. The Most High is getting rid of all of this.
A large number of Indians have thrown the idols of the gods they worshipped on the streets as...
Wait a minute. Try to bring it.
A large number of Indians have thrown the idols of the gods they worshipped on the streets as the numbers of coronavirus infections and deaths skyrocket in the country.
Fair use.
Indians expressed their anger at the idols that they worshipped and sacrificed themselves for, but the idols did not protect them from the coronavirus.
Now, you notice he's saying sacrifices themselves for. Now, all this is idol worship. All that Virgin Mary. And I'm going to tell you something. When they come here in this country and open up all these restaurants and selling sisters all this old demonic hair and this and that, they pray before this stuff. And they pray in their restaurants. And what they praying to, and I'll show you in scriptures, they're actually praying to demons. And they taking these statues, and I guess that's their way of life. But when they come here, and you go in these Indian restaurants or Chinese restaurants from any other nation, they pray over the food and serve it to you, or they'll pray over the sale of hair that they done shaved off of kids' heads and selling it to you. It's a huge market. I still say some of that is a horse's tail. And they turn around, pray over it, and sell it to you. Listen real good now.
They prayed to the idols because they believed that it could save them from the virus, but they finally discovered that they could not do anything, and hence they destroyed it. The number of daily coronavirus deaths in India has been reaching a record number of 3,780, as the total number of infections exceeded 20 million.
Look at that.
India's underfunded health system has struggled to cope with the recent wave of COVID, with patients dying in hospital parking lots from lack of oxygen
Fair use.
and beds.
You see? See, that's the idols in India. That's the idols in India. See, they finally realizing that all this idolatry is not working all of these years. See, and now the cookies and milk done hit their country and they lost all them people. But now let's go into some scriptures, because I want to show you that the Most High hates idolatry. He hates it. Let's start out with Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19. One through 4, I believe it is. Leviticus 19, 1 through 4. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel. See, we're in the wilderness. And say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Ye shall fear every man, his mother, and his father, and keep my Sabbath. I am the Lord your God. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourself molten gods. See, molten God, that's crosses that you got hanging on your neck. Now, you have to understand that these laws was given to the Hebrews, the Israelites in the wilderness. It wasn't given to the world. So once you come to understand in this Bible that you are a Hebrew, you have to come back to these laws. This is a protection to you, especially at this day and time, at this age of the world, because we are living the last chapters of the book of Revelation. After that, it's all over. Okay? So you thinking it's a fashion statement, but in your mind, you want people to think that you are such a holy person to walk around with cross or Yah and all of that stuff hanging on your neck. Some of them got it on their ear. Let's go to, now we go into Wisdom of Solomon. This is the Wisdom of Solomon. This is out of the Apocrypha, okay, which is part of the Bible, the 1611 King James Version. Chapter 14, verse 1. Again, one preparing himself to sail and about to pass through the raging waves, call it upon a piece of wood, more rotten than a vessel that carried him. For verily desire of gain devised that and the workman built it by his skill. But thy providence, O Father, governeth it, for thou hast made a way in the sea and a safe path in the waves. Now he's talking about Noah. This is talking about Noah using wood to build a ship to come over on this side of the flood. Showing that thou canst save from all danger. Yea, though a man went to sea without art, nevertheless thou wouldest not that the works of thy wisdom should be idle. And therefore do men commit their lives to a small piece of wood, and passing the rough sea in a weak vessel are saved. That's Noah. Okay. For in the old time also, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world governed by thy hand escaped in a weak vessel and left to all ages a seed of generation. For blessed is the wood whereby righteousness cometh, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being corruptible, it was called God. So if wood is made to build things like Noah's ship, how can you look at a piece of wood, carve it, and start praying to it? This is what this is saying. This is this is nothing but wood, and the Most High is looking at you, and you got it on your neck or in your house or whatever, and you praying to it, thinking that your prayers are going to come true, or you might be in some kind of danger, and you look at the cross or whatever, and you thinking that that cross is going to save you from that danger. It was the Most High that made sure Noah made it to the other side. It wasn't the wood he used to make the boat. So this is what this is saying. This is why he hates idolatry. He wants us to come directly to him. Nothing in the front. You women can, as far as your prayers goes, skip over the man. That's why it's okay for a woman to cover her head. So her prayers skip her husband and goes to the Messiah, then to the Most High. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto God. You see? For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, like the video I just showed you. Because in the creature of God, they are become an abomination, a stumbling block to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise. Now, Sunday churches would not tell you this, because it's some ministers that preaches them pimp daddies and have crosses all on their clothes. So they're not going to tell you this that's in scripture. Creflo Dollar, he wears it a lot. I forgot the big fella name that's over the PTO club. TD Jakes. See, when you see people like that wearing it, you think it's okay. But when you go to the scriptures, you see that the Most High cannot stand that. He hates that. See, that's why them churches are shut down. They don't come to you with truth. They tell you just what that particular preacher wants you to hear. But by us being black race, we don't like to read. And that's why we put our faith in that pimp daddy. And next thing you know, he pimping you out your money. See? And 10% is not the way that it's done on Sundays. The 10% was for the Levites when we were in the wilderness, because there was millions of us in the wilderness and everything had to be in order. The Levites dealt with the Most High. Everybody else was out building, trying to live all them years, over 40 something years, building homes and trying to, gather food, make food for everybody. Everybody had something to do. But those that came that had any little bit of value, that's when the Most High was asking 10% of that to help the Levites, because the Levites dealt with the laws and was teaching us about the Most High. So 10% is really for the Levites. It's not for everybody, but the Catholic Church took it after the Messiah was crucified and made big money off of it. That's why these churches are called harlots, whores. Everything Sunday churches do, they do exactly the way the Roman Catholic Church programmed it, the way they started, you see. So Sunday churches is not, you can't argue with this, but we got to stop following these pimp daddies and open these scriptures up, or getting one of these camps and listen to them, because a lot of these camps come with truth. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vainglory of men they enter into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Okay, like over in India. And India is not the only one that's getting rid of those idols. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made an image of his son, soon taken away, now honored him as a god. This is Cesare Borgia, Pope Alexander VI, second son, Rodrigo Borgia. When he made the image of the Messiah and made him white, he used his son, Rodrigo Borgia, made an image of his son, Cesare Borgia. Okay, Cesare Borgia was notorious murderer, had sex with his sister for 30-something years, Lucretia, and was gay on top of that. When he had made an image of his son, soon taken away, now honoreth him as a god, which was taken as a dead man and delivered to those that were under him, ceremonies and sacrifices. So from this point up until now, you see Cesare Borgia in a lot of people's houses, especially black folks. Now, we are Hebrews and have no business with that white man in our house, especially now that you know that that's Cesare Borgia. That's a gay white man. And they took it to the whole world, his image. And they'll show up a photo, a picture. See if I can find that. They'll show this famous picture and took it around the world. It's idolatry. This image is what they've taken around the whole world, right? Right there. And that's the actual guy, Cesare Borgia. And I remember this picture in my grandma's house. And you bet not touch it or say anything about it. That's idolatry. The Most High can't stand that. See, when you wake up, once you wake up that you are Hebrew, look at all this truth. You're starting to see all the lies that's been told to us all down through the years. Not just from white folks, but from black people too. Because our parents and grandparents are all part of the curse. See, now we're starting to wake up and starting to realizing, hey, we've been lied to all of these years, over 400 years. Nothing but lies. Ezekiel 7:19. Ezekiel 7:19. They get all in track and field. They do the same thing in track and field. And another thing, I notice a lot of people have Bibles, right? They have little Bibles around their house and they leave it open like that, with the intent that your house would be blessed. Idolatry. This is our history book. Our forefathers wrote on scrolls, and they were found. The Most High had archaeologists find a lot of them in the Cumberland clay caves. And once they took those scrolls and wrote them all in English, see, now when we read them, we are reading what our forefathers wrote and hid. That toward the end time, we would be able to get this writing and understand it. But you're not going to understand it with a Christian mentality. You have to understand that this is a history book. So if you in your house and got that Bible laid open like that, thinking your house is going to be blessed, that's idolatry. If you living under the laws, doing the best you can, no, you can't fulfill all 613 laws. But the top 10 you can. It's the top 10 that's more important than anything. The top 10. Come back to the laws and keep them the best you can. That's how you get your blessing. That book don't need to be open. This room, that room, that room, this room. That's idolatry, because your faith is in that book. Thinking, well, if I leave it open, the house will be blessed. Ezekiel 7:19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity, which is sins. Pretty much the video you just saw of them in India. Shall not be delivered to deliver them. They shall not be delivered in the day of the wrath of the Lord. Now you can say that's going on now with this. That's why they got us taking this cookies and milk. When a lot of people are dying like that, that's a wrath. That's pretty much God speaking. And in the midst of that, look at what's happening around the world. Idols are not saving them. And there's a lot of old folks, I'm sure, living all their life with a book wide open, gone. They out of here. That's idolatry. Ezekiel 14, 1 through 5. Ezekiel 14. 1 through 5. Then came certain of the elders of Israel unto me, and sat before me. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols, and in their heart, and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of that all by them? Therefore speak unto them and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, every man of the house of Israel that setteth up his idols in his heart. Like I say, when your house is decorated, but yet your faith is in that book or in that statue, in that cross, in that photo of Cedric Bozier, in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and cometh to the prophet, I, the Lord, will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idols, that I may take the house of Israel in their own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. You see, I may take the house of Israel in their own heart. 1 Corinthians 10. 1 Corinthians 10. 1 through 11. 8, 9, 10, 1 through 11. 10, 1 through 11. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea. That's us coming out of Egypt. That was our baptism when we were coming out of Egypt through the sea. I think this is Paul talking. And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ, the Messiah. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. See, we starting to act the fool. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. I'm going to read that one again. I want to show you something. Now these things were our examples. Now this is Paul. What they did in the past is an example for us to correct ourselves by their mistake. That's why this book belongs to the Hebrew Israelites to come out of what the world is doing or what the world have taught us. Now I know we're coming out of darkness and we are waking up understanding that we were Israelites. But in those days, they knew that they were Hebrews when they came out of Egypt. It was told to them. Now in the days of Rome, when Paul was talking, that's why the Messiah said, I didn't come for you. I came for the lost sheep of the houses of Israel. There were a lot of black Jews, Hebrews, that was calling themselves Romans and Greeks because we wasn't allowed to use that anymore. And if we did, we was put to death. See? So a lot of old things that was done to us, the days of Rome, Greeks, all the way back to the wilderness, it was for an example for us at the end time. Because see, we have no excuse. Time is running out now. There was still a lot of time left in those days. So that's why they was writing different books. They was writing different books, hoping that the children in the future, which is us, would find these writings and see what they did wrong. What did our ancestors do wrong? Why did the Most High God give our forefathers a certificate of divorce, but yet try to bring us back to him? This is what he's doing now. He's bringing us back to him for the second marriage. So you have to look at the mistakes that was done back then and stop saying it doesn't matter. It matters to us because we're the ones that get punished for it. That's why we still at rock bottom. Now, these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things. Now, verse 7, neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. From my understanding, it was an earthquake in that area, and a lot of our people fell when the earthquake happened. And this is why Scripture said the earth swallowed up. It opened up, and a lot of them fell in it. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. We have to learn what our forefathers did back then. 1 John 5:21. What's another Corinthians? Let's stay in Corinthians, go to 8, 3, and 4. 8, 3, and 4. But if any man love God, the same is known of him. As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols. Let me read that again. As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. Now, that goes back to when I tell you they come over here and open these restaurants. And after they get everything, the meal and stuff ready, they pray over it. They pray to their idol gods. And some of these Asian restaurants and Indian restaurants, you can see all these statues of Buddha and all the Asian statues all in the back kitchen. And before the day starts, they say a prayer. They're praying to that idol for the sales they make for that day. And they'll say another one at the end for the sales that was already made, for the earnings for that day. This is what this scripture is talking about. We know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now let's go to 1 John 5:21. 1 John 5:21. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrong, or that they are wroth in God. This, yeah. Five. 1 John chapter. I think this is it here. First John. First John 5, chapter 5. Show me. Chapter 5. I think I wrote down the wrong one. Let's go to Isaiah 45:20. Isaiah 45:20. Assemble yourselves and come. Draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of their graven image and pray unto a God that cannot save. See, on and on and on, this Bible talks about idolatry. That's Isaiah, Exodus 20 and 1. Let's go to Exodus 20 and 1. All of this is to us. It can care less what other nations do. But when you realize you're a Hebrew, that you are an Israelite, those were our ancestors, these laws apply to you. Don't try to ignore them, because when you give up the ghost, you're going to have to try to explain that. You're not going to have any explanation, because information is out there to get and to learn for us, because salvation is for the Jews. Salvation is for the Israelites. You think about all the mess we've been through, all down through the years, all the kingdoms that we slaved in. Salvation is through us. Exodus 20 and 1. One through 3. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, which is slavery. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. See? That's idolatry. When you put your faith in that cross, pictures, idols, Virgin Mary, all of that, even the Pope's staff, that's idolatry. He's telling us that I brought your ass out of slavery. Don't put nothing before me. No one, not your wife, not your husband, not your children. Nothing comes before me. And he meant that. He means that. Genesis 32. Genesis 32. 22 through 28. (32) 22 to 28. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. Okay, we finna find out who Israel is. And he took them and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. So Jacob walked with a limp. Okay, these are all the people that was in the wilderness. They all come from Jacob. Okay, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's brother Esau went to the land of Canaan. So the children that was in the wilderness came out of Jacob. Now Jacob had a mark. He had a mark on him because he touched his thigh, and I'm thinking he broke his hip. See, so we got to find out who are these children and where are they? How can we find Jacob's children today? And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, the angel, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, for as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. So Jacob's name was changed to Israel. That's why we call the Israelites. Okay. And by him breaking his hip, we had a certain mark or a certain walk, Jacob's children, even to this day. So you can find Jacob's children, a lot of them, by watching the way they walk. That mark is still with us. So I'm gonna see if I can find Jacob, so you can see what that means when he touched his thigh. That set a mark upon his children. And there are a lot of tribes that you can see that mark. Let me see if I can show you. Go here. Because we got to find okay, hold up. I want you to understand.
Based on a true story.
Okay. Let's try to find it. Let's try to find it. So you can see how Jacob was walking. Now, just pay attention to these videos. I have no rights to, and pay close attention to the walk. The walk. Let me see. Let me get. Here we go. Fair use. Look at that walk. Look at that walk. What? Fair use. Look at this walk. You can't tell me that ain't Jacob. Look at that. Look at the walk. Never mind the video. You tell me that ain't Jacob. Look at this here. Look at this. What? That's Jacob. Judah. Judah. I got some more. I got some more. I'm going to show you that we are Jacob. We are Jacob. See if I can pull this one up. I'll find another one for you.
Ufos active recovery.
Coming up. All right, all right. Watch the. Let's see. Yeah.
Are you coming back soon, priest?
Look at that walk. And a lot of you old timers know. Back in the day, that's how we walk. You can't tell me that ain't Jacob. I'm showing you, Jake. I'm going back in the day. I'm going way back. Showing you Jacob. Now that was back in the day. Showing you the history of Jacob's children. Got more. Got more. Oh, man. Let me see if I can get this one. I know you remember this one. Yep, I know you remember this one. Jacob's children. The tribe of Judah.
Get out of the way.
I got it. Here's a good one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That one. Oh. Let's find another one. I'm just showing you Jacob's children hit the hollow of his thigh. Let's see. Hit the hollow of his thigh, and Jacob couldn't walk. Yes, indeed. Here's one for you. Here's one for you. We're going to see Jacob in a minute. Now, he really had it. He really had that walk down packed in this one. Fair use. Ghettos are the same all over the world. This is how you can find Jacob's children. Judah's like a lion. Look at that head. A lion's head. Fair use. Watch him walk now. Watch the walk. Tell me his hip ain't broke.
Double punching, baby.
You know, see, though, back in those days, you can find Jacob easy. You can find Jacob easy back in them days.
Going on a trip, are you?
Now I'm gonna try to bring it.
Hey, this Jake's got.
Try to bring it up to our time.
Got a passport. Where you?
It's the walk that I really want you to pay attention to. I'm just looking for Jacob's children. Yeah, where you at? Yeah. Looking for Jacob's children. That's Duggan. I think this it here. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Another Jacob. Fair use. Look at that. Look at that. Look at Pimp Daddy. Hit his thigh, the hollow of his thigh.
Your Highness.
I'm just showing you the walk. That's all I'm doing. I'm just looking for Jacob's children. So you can clearly understand we are the children of Israel. This one. What's this one? Okay, here's another one. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's another one for you. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get it on this one. Let's see if he got it.
When you said we are going to open Wakanda to the rest of the world, this is not what I
Now
imagined.
watch, look at that walk.
The Olympics, maybe even a Starbucks.
Jacob's children. Jacob's children. I think you have a good idea what I'm trying to put together. I think I missed one. I did miss one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did miss one. Here's another one for you. It's not old, but the movie takes place. Do you want? The movie takes place back in the 70s. Okay. Here we go. Watch this walk. Watch this walk.
It's unbelievable, Black.
Huh?
Everyone looks so happy. And it's all thanks to you.
I'd like to take credit but dig, Mom. There's no I in Revolut and T.
Fair use.
Look, I'm gonna be rusty, but I have to try.
See?
Oh, hi, girls. What is your name? I'm sure.
So you got a good idea of what I'm trying to bring together as far as Jacob's hip being broke. But to my people in Detroit, you know I saved the best for last. You know I saved the best for last. Here's the last one I'm gonna show you. It's gonna be the last one. So you should have a very good idea of who Jacob's children are. It's the last one I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna end it. Get rid of them idols, because in Leviticus, that was us in the wilderness, our God, Ahia, talking to the Israelites. Israelites came from Jacob, all 12 tribes. What I'm showing you now is actually the tribe of Judah, because we got that walk down pack. It's the last one. Of course, you know I saved the best for last. I can't help myself. Yeah, man. Fair you. Uh-huh. Jacob. Here it comes. Here it comes. That's Jacob, Jack. That's Jacob. Look at that. That's Jacob. That's Jacob. I'm gonna end it now. I'm gonna end it with this sister. She is dynamite. There we go. I'm gonna end it with this sister here. Back together. All right. Take us home, sister. Take us home.
It was true to its word. GoodRx was true to its word. I didn't realize you had
Take
to
us home,
have a
sister.
prescription drug plan.
This sister's gonna take us to the house. I'm gonna say shalom to you to my next video. Value.
Thank you.